Today we have Kenwood Excelon.
That's right, we have the DDX794. We're going to open it up and tell you all about it. So stay tuned. So we finally made it to the end of the road. We've done the 394, the 594, and the 794 is right here. Yay. There's subtle differences between each of them, so if you feel like watching them all, please go ahead and do it. It's awfully fun. We also have a ton of companion videos that talk all about individual features. So as the days go on, they all pop up. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. This is going to be the 7-inch touchscreen version of this platform, and it comes with a power plug, an extension for the emergency brake wire, a Bluetooth microphone, a owner's manual, extraction tool, and bag of screws all in one, trim bezel that you won't use, and a radio covered in foam
And plastic.
So we're going to go ahead and pull this bad boy out of the bag and show you what's on the back. So looking at the back of the radio, we have the Sirius XM input, which is the SXV 300 add-on Sirius XM tuner. These guys here are the inputs for the iDataLink Maestro. Power plug, has a 10 amp fuse. You have a couple wires on the back. This is the parking brake wire. The purple white is the reverse light input. You have an RCA, which is the front view camera input. You have the one and only USB cable. It's about 1 meter long, and it's a 5-volt, 1.5 amp. Over here in the corner, you have the input for the Bluetooth microphone, and right next to it, which is the exact same size, is the iPod/AV input. This is going to be your external aux jack input right here. Now they're both the same size, and they look identical, so be careful when you're plugging in your Bluetooth mic, make sure you get it right. Next you have these two yellow guys right here. The bottom one is the reverse camera input, and the top is the video output. Kenwood does not separate them with color, so there again, if you're adding a camera, make sure you connect it to the bottom one. You have a 5-volt RCA output, you have sub, you have front, and you have rear. You also have the FM antenna. This particular radio has HD. The radios also do steering wheel controls. The connection for the steering wheel control is the blue-yellow wire, right here where it says remote control, in the main wiring harness. When the radio first powers up, it's going to ask you a few questions. The first one being demonstration. Naturally, you're going to want to shut that off. The second one is languages. If you tap it, you can go into the menu and see the 21 different languages that this radio will do. Now when you select one of these, it'll change all the text in the radio to that language. Next we have panel angle. Panel angle allows you to decide where you want the screen to sit. This is a 7-inch motorized touchscreen with the CD player located behind it. So if you don't want to just have it straight, leave it where it's at and go back. Next is front camera. This allows you to hook up the front camera using the RCA we just showed you. Now the nice thing about this radio is you can buy any camera for it, in that, for example, if you buy a standard reverse camera, the image is going to be backwards. If you put it on the front of the car, it's going to be wrong. This will correct that. So if you buy a standard reverse camera, select this and it'll flip the image the right direction. Then you have rear camera. Rear camera, turn it on and off. Parking guidelines. And they're totally customizable by using these arrows here. Next is user customize. This is where the 9 backgrounds are located, as well as you can import your own background here. You can also come over here and select what color you'd like the buttons to be. You can use user, which allows you to go in and edit and pick your own. So you can adjust these here to make whatever color you want the buttons to be. Toggle down. New this year is view angle. What this allows you to do is adjust the contrast and brightness of the screen. So depending on where you're at, this will change the brightness and contrast so you get a better off-axis viewing. This will help for direct sunlight in situations like that. Once you've gone to this point, go ahead and select Finish. As we said, this is a 7-inch clear resistive touchscreen. It's a WVGA color LCD display with LED backlightings. It's 800 by 480 pixels. It also has 50 watts by 4 of internal deck power. As we stated, the preamp outputs are 5 volt. Now, a few things to talk about are the buttons. You have standard up and down with the volume here. You have a camera feed direct button. This will take you directly to the camera. Now, if you have a front camera hooked up, if you simply touch here, it'll toggle between the two. And when you're done, touch here and it'll go away. If you press and hold the camera button, it'll also shut the display off. Tap it again for it to turn back on. Next, you have the home button. The home button will take you to this screen here no matter what source you're on. So for example, if we go to radio, then we hit home, it'll go ahead and take us here. If we press and hold this button, it'll also shut down the radio. Tap it again, the radio will power back up. Menu. Menu, you'll bring up these here. This is where you can go to your telephone. Screen adjustment, just turn the delay off. So if you want the radio on, but it's really bright in the dash, you can do that. You have camera. This will allow you to turn the camera on. Basically redundant of this button here. Setup. This will take you into the setup for the radio where all your audio, display, and all that fun stuff is located. And then current source. Located next to that is the telephone button. If you press this, this is going to take you to your telephone menu. If you press and hold it, it's going to activate the voice button. This is for Siri Eyes Free or Google Voice. Press and hold. Last but not least is eject. Here's your CD DVD player located. So let's talk about sources. This is your main home page. You can choose what source and where you'd like it to appear. These are your 3 favorites. Hit this guy right here. It's the 9 button. And this will bring up the first page. If you notice down here, there's 2 circles. If we hit this arrow, it'll take us over to the second page. As we said, it's a CD DVD player. It also has a single USB. That USB can be used for a couple different things. You could plug an iPod into it and get full iPod control. You could plug a thumb drive into it and listen to music off of a thumb drive and some video formats. It'll also read FLAC files off of a thumb drive, and it supports Android Rapid Charge. Next to that is Bluetooth. This is Bluetooth audio. This year they did something new. They came out with a new feature called Music Mix. Music Mix allows you to pair up to 5 phones, and once all 5 phones are paired, all you have to do is press play on whatever phone you're listening to, and it'll switch to that phone. The other thing that makes the 794 unique is it's just like a 594, and then it has the apt-X Bluetooth circuit. That's the high-end Bluetooth circuit for the best in Bluetooth sound. Located next to that is your auxiliary input. Even though it has 3 RCAs, there are no RCAs located on this radio for auxiliary. It was that AV input located on the back. Sirius XM. OEM features. If you use the iDataLink Maestro, that will unlock some of these features here. If not, they'll just stay grayed out like this. Standby. Standby will just put the unit to sleep like this. This will allow you to still receive Bluetooth phone calls. On this particular radio, you have the ability to control iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Pandora, both over Bluetooth on both Android and iPhone, as well as if you plug in your USB on an iPhone. It has Android Music. That means if you have an Android phone with Android Music on it, you can plug in via USB and listen to your music. As we said before, the USB will control an iPod, and this is where the icon is to do it. Next up is Bluetooth hands-free calling. In the hands-free calling, You can have 5 fast keys located here. You can access all your contacts, your ingoing, outgoing mist, as well as a 9 key. You have push to talk so that you can use Siri Eyes Free or Google Voice. You have answer and hang up located over here. Another nice thing about the Bluetooth on this is it's a dual phone Bluetooth, meaning you can have 2 active Bluetooth phones at the same time and receive and make calls from either one. And last but not least is the HD radio. This is the second feature that also makes this unit unique. Just like the 594, the 794 has HD radio. HD radio allows you to take advantage of things like simulcast. So simulcast is when you have 2 stations located on one channel. Simply press the channel up and down once the HD icon is highlighted here, and you can listen to a second channel. No radio will be complete without an awesome EQ built into it, and because this is an Excelon, it's got Kenwood's premium EQ features built into it. There's 2 ways to access the sound settings. One is this guy right here. If you hit this, this will automatically take you to the EQ. This uses a 13-band EQ with presets. You have natural, rock, pop, easy, top 40, jazz, powerful, and user. You can also just drag your finger across and make a setting. Your subwoofer level control is also located right here conveniently. Over here it says all source. On Kenwood radios they have a feature called Source Tone Adjust, which allows you to have a different EQ setting for each source. If that's a bit much for you, no big deal. Select all source, and what that'll do is that'll allow you to have one EQ setting for every source on the radio. Now if you select menu and select setup, that'll also take you into the sound settings. Equalizer is going to be your first choice. Simply press the back arrow. Now you have sound effects. Sound effects is what I like to call the salt and pepper of the Kenwood radio. This is where all the cool little trinkets of sound exist. First up is loudness control. Loudness gives you the ability to increase the impact of the music at low volumes. You have 2 settings, low, high, and off. After that comes bass boost. Bass boost is good if the music you're listening to has very low bass. You have 5 adjustments to increase the impact of the music. Drive EQ on and off. Drive EQ is kind of like noise canceling built into the radio. It will listen to the road noise around you and try to decrease it in the car for you. Next up on the list is Space Enhancer, and you have 3 settings: small, medium, and large. What this does is give you the effect of a bigger soundstage in your car. So if the music sounds really tight and close to you, if you'd like to make it sound wider, simply turn it on and adjust it. Next up is Supreme. Supreme is used to enhance music due to compression loss. You simply turn it on or turn it off and see if it makes your music sound better. Then you have Realizer. Realizer has 3 levels and allows you to, sort of like Supreme, make the music sound more realistic though. Then you have Stage EQ. Stage EQ is designed to move a simulated center channel up and down throughout the center of the dash. There again, these are all really cool and something you're going to want to play with to make your sound better. Moving on, you have the balance and fader. Balance and fader, you just move your finger around, and then when you're done, you can select center and it'll put it back in the center for you. Speakers and crossovers. Kenwood does an amazing job of making the setup for these radios pretty simple. It's through simple buttons turning things on and off and seeing if it works or doesn't work for your taste. Moving into this is no different. You can pick what size vehicle you have, then come over and it's going to ask you, where are the rear speakers located? Are they in the 2nd row, 3rd row? And then speaker select. This allows you to go in and tell it what size speakers you have. This is helpful if you don't understand what crossovers are, because you can just pick a speaker size and the radio will know what you have and adjust it accordingly. You can do it for front. You can also tell it what size tweeter you have. None, large, middle, small, speaker, 6 3/4, 5 1/4, It'll go all the way up to a 6x9. You can do the same for the rear as well as the subwoofer. Tell it what size sub you have. Now, if you want to go in and adjust the crossovers, that works too. You have the ability to adjust the sub crossover. You have a couple frequencies to choose from, actually several frequencies to choose from, as well as you can adjust the slope here from 6, 12, 18, or 24 dB, as well as adjust the phase. The smaller speakers work the same. Kenwood is unique in that they give you a low-pass crossover for the tweeter, as well as individual level controls for those. It's all done through the front channel, but if you noticed over here, this blue line, you can add a low-pass filter to decrease any harsh sounds that are coming out of the tweeter. As well as, of course, you do have the crossover for the mid-range and the 6, 12, 18, or 24 dB per octave slope. Next up on the list is time alignment. Time alignment is the special sauce on any stereo. This allows you to tell it where you're sitting in the car, who's in the car, so if there's two of you in the front, or if it's just you enjoying the car by yourself. If you'll notice, it'll go ahead and put in a generic measurement set here. You, of course, can change that simply by hitting these buttons, as well as the level, or they call gain. This allows you to adjust all 5 volumes for each speaker or each corner of the car, as well as the subwoofer. This will allow you to bring the music to where it sounds a true stereo image right in front of your face. And last but not least, volume offset. Volume offset has become very important today with all our handheld portable devices and many sources to choose from. This is an independent volume control for each source. So what it allows you to do is turn up or turn down each source. So if you have a Bluetooth phone and the volume is not where the radio is, you can either turn up or down the radio or turn up or down your phone. Right here. A couple more things to take a look at before we wrap this up. iPod setup is an important one. This is one that for some reason gets screwed up a lot. If you plug an iPod into the USB and you get no audio, this would be the reason why. You selected USB plus AV input. You're going to make sure you switch it back to USB 1 wire. This is also true as if you are hooking up the Media Links cable and you're not getting any video from it. Make sure it's switched to USB 1 wire. You can also select Bluetooth from here, and then you don't even have to plug the phone in. App setup. App setup is going to work the same way. Here's you're going to tell it though. Do you have an iPhone or an Android phone? If you don't like the annoying beep, this is where it would be located. You can turn the beep on and off. This is also where the serial number for your radio is, as well as system information. System information is going to be used if there's ever an update and you need to see what version number your radio is. That is all located right here. Now, if your radio was installed and the demonstration was not turned off, that is going to be under the Displays tab. Simply select Display. You can come down here to Demonstration and turn it off. This is also where if you want to change the customization, you can do that here as well. Customize the home screen. This is where this allows you to go in and rearrange these buttons. You can just tap here and it will change the buttons for you. And if the radio is too bright, dimmer controls are also located in the display feature.
And that was a lot.
Yes, it was, and we got it done quickly. Yay! These radios come packed full of stuff, and a lot of you guys like to ask us the question, what's the difference between this one, and this one? There's 3 of these radios in this series, a 394, a 594, and a 794, as we like to call them, 3, 5, and 7. The main difference when you go, the 3 has all the features that this has except 3 things. It's got a 6-inch screen, it's got no apt-X, and it's got no HD radio. The 5 series has the apt-X and the HD radio. The 7 series is the same as the 5, just it has a 7-inch touchscreen.
That's awesome.
I know, right?
For different, yeah.
Cool.
That's cool.
Is it?
Yeah. Is it really? It's cool.
You're just trying to make me feel good. Thanks. Alright, well, we're not going to hold you any longer. Fernando, if you would.
thank you for watching. You guys can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram.
That's right, we do these 5 days a week. It's never ending, it feels like.
Nope. Subscribe, share, like.
Please, and thank you. You guys have a great night as always, and we will see you. Ow.
We will see you later. Bye.
Yeah, that.